Well, it's about that time. There is a preseason game tonight, the first and only that will be gracing its presence in the odd. And, well, it's about that time. Hockey's back. This will be the first game in the odd since, March? Maybe April? So it's an exciting time to be back and to see, oh, look what's back. I mean, this is the only game until the week of the 22nd, which I think is not next week, but the week after. And that is, I think that Monday is the only Monday that the Comets play a home game. I think that's the 17th or something like that. And then you have Utica University playing its first game. It's only exhibition game in the odd the 22nd, 7 p.m. I know that off the top of my head. I've been waiting, but it looks like it's about time. Now, it looks like, just seeing now, that there was a waiver placement recently that would not come down today, but would come down tomorrow if they clear, and it is Andreas Johnson on waivers for New Jersey. Now, the current roster that is in Utica is and this is, I will mention, there is going to be a couple guys that cleared waivers that aren't on this list that I'll bring up right after, but forwards that are on the roster: Billy Jerry, Nick Rivera, that was a name you were going to see; Noah Carson, Nolan Stevens, Ryan Schmelzer, obviously you were going to see him; Sebastian Vidmar, sorry if I butcher your names; Daniel Walker, Garrett Van Wy, obviously was going to be here; Xavier Parent, Samuel LeBurge, obviously going to be here; Nick Hutchinson. That is your forwards. Defenseman: Ivan Chakrov, sorry if I butchered that; Dylan Blujas, Jared Gurley, who saw time up late in the year last year as like a black ace, I think it was, when he was up for the playoff push, and Philip Bratt. And then goalies: Isaac Poitier and Mark Mittens. Now, there was also waiver guys that passed through waivers that just came down within the last couple days. It was, this got stretched for a second, Gambardella, Wotherspoon, Russo, and Grollo, all down to Utica. And now that means 22 players are on the roster. Comets are also currently, let me know, at 5 veterans, and AHL teams can have a total of 6 veterans. Or veteran exempt. So actually, wait, I'm confusing myself. So Comets are currently at 5 veterans. I think that is what it is. The 2 that are on veteran exempt are Gambardella and Schnestian, who did get sent down, I guess. I don't remember seeing him get sent down, but apparently he did. Yeah, Zach Schnestian. Okay. Sorry if I continue to butcher that, but that is the current outlook of what Utica has. It's going to be interesting because no one got sent down today. A lot of the guys are up in Utica. There's actually 37 on that roster. So they're going to have to cut down at least, they're going to cut down 10 plus. So at least probably a good amount of guys will come to Utica in the near future before the season because they have to get down to 23. But roster cuts were announced half an hour ago, and it was 1 waiver. I know, but I don't think there was very many cuts. Let me check New Jersey's official thing. I have everybody but New Jersey. I have Utica and Adirondack. I don't have New Jersey in like my quick pick for the profiles of their Twitters because that's usually how I keep up with their transactions. No, they didn't say anything. That is not surprising coming from them. But like I said, it's that's the roster that we have here. There will be play-by-plays. I forgot to note there will be play-by-play for this game, which, for those who don't know, if I'm in attendance, I will do a play-by-play through the High Score Podcast, that Twitter page, which is the is the unofficial sponsor of our podcast or of any videos that cover hockey, but that's because they're connected to the channel. But there will be play-by-plays there. This year, there's going to be a little more of an uptick of thoughts on the game, and not just, it felt a little bit robotic at times with just spitting out, oh, this guy just got a penalty, or here's a score here, or a score here, or a power play here. It felt robotic, and it didn't feel like I wanted it to. I didn't want it to feel robotic. So there's going to be a little bit of more, if I can, and I'm not being very quick about throwing things into the timeline of this happened, of more just talking about these things that are happening or giving thoughts on the game. But that I usually do that at intermissions. So there might be a little more during intermissions of if I do end up moving around, saying, all right, this is what I'm seeing so far. That might be where it comes in. I don't know yet. I'm going to test a little bit. It's going to be one of those things of test it and see how it works, because we have a lot of time. And I have a feeling we're going to get stuck with GA. So, because for those who don't know, it's a packed house tonight. And if I get stuck with GA, I get stuck with GA, and we're going to be moving around a little bit. I'm hoping we're up high in 203, because that's where Ball's Army is. And they make for a very fun time at those games. But hey, I guarantee I'm going to lose my voice if I come on for the podcast tomorrow and I have no voice. You know why. If you know that I lose my voice a lot at those games. And I mean, I will probably more so than I normally do at Comets games tonight, because it's been months since I've been in a hockey game where I can really yell and kind of get into the game. So, I mean, it's that time. When Utica comes along, they'll be the ones where I primarily lose my voice at their games, but that's because I sit behind the opponent bench, and I will call out everybody. But, I mean, it's going to be exciting. They're playing a Syracuse team that's also got their training camp roster. Speaking of, I don't have the training camp roster for Syracuse, but I would gladly pull it up, because I want to see if there's any familiar faces that Utica could be seeing. But anyways, it's going to be, I have a feeling it's not going to be a huge game. It doesn't matter too much, but it's a thing of, I'm excited for the game tonight. It's going to be a duel either way. It's Syracuse. It's always a duel, and Syracuse comes in our house. And I always get excited for that. I always get excited to see hockey. But looks like they have a 25-man roster, not counting the defenseman they just added today. The roster includes some from guys like Lucas Edmonds, Jack Finley, Grant Mismash. Yeah, that's a lot of play. I don't know why Utica has. Well, now they're up to basically enough defensemen, but they're very low on defensemen. So tonight's gonna be a weird night for them. Syracuse does have 3 goaltenders. I don't know if they'll cycle all 3 and you'll see all 3. Of note, Darren Radish is coming to town. Another familiar name, Sean Day. That's another guy I know I've yelled at Crunch Comets games. And it's going to be interesting. I mean, no one likes a Radish shout is going to be brought up at some point. If Utica starts to really beat the brakes off of Syracuse, you're probably going to hear a start the buses. That I'm surprised it doesn't happen more at Utica games if they level somebody, but that's more Utica University games because they're so synonymous with, especially last year, of going, oh, you're a decent team. Oh, well, we're one of the best in Division III, and we're going to level you. I just did a hand gesture. I do this every time I have a video or a podcast. I make a hand gesture, and then I realize I'm not on camera. I'm just going crazy. But watch out for tonight. There is a hype video that's actually supposed to drop in just over 20 minutes. But besides that, I think for anyone who's going to the game, you'll probably hear me. For those who aren't, and if you want to know what's going on, check in the High Score podcast, and it's play-by-play. I know I'm wrapping this up right now. I just didn't want to do a long stream. I just want it to be short, kind of sweet to the point. This is a preseason game. Here's what Utica kind of looks like, and I don't know what to expect. I really don't. I mean, it's going to be a battle. It always is. I'm wondering if it gets chippy. That's going to be my wonder is, does this get chippy early because these are guys fighting for a spot? But anyways, like I said, for those who aren't going, check out High Scores. Play-by-play for those who are, you might hear me. And for anyone who's excited, I am too. Let's go. It's time to see some Utica Comets hockey. Finally, hockey in the odd. We haven't had hockey in that building in a while. At least big like AHL hockey or even college hockey. So it's going to be exciting. Anyways, you know who I am. I'll see you this weekend with more stuff. Go Comets.